everyone, and welcome to a TCC Podcast. That's where I read these articles. I haven't made one of these in a long time, but you don't need to watch the screen. You can just listen to this on the ride home from work or whatever it is you're doing. So the article is titled The Rise and Collapse of a Scalper Sport Card Empire, Bribes, Parking Lot Deals, and the Cards You Never Had a Chance to Buy by James Dator. Yeah, this was a really fun read, so I thought I'd read it back to you guys. Tyrone sits in the middle of his 3-monitor setup like the cockpit of a fighter jet, one hand grasping a cup of coffee, the other his vape alternating between stimulants and watching a scramble over spots in his latest break. He says, "This been up 40 minutes and we only got 2 slots left," he yells to his business partners, pulling cards for their latest single orders. Tyrone, who asked not to go by his real name to keep his anonymity, elevated his hobby for collecting cards into a business 3 years ago, and it turned into an empire. Now he's coming face to face with it all collapsing. He says, "I knew we didn't have forever on this. I just figured it'd be the feds shutting us down, not dumbasses at Target." Wow, this guy's he's so mean to Target workers. What did Target do wrong? I guess they cut off his supply of scalped cards. So May 14th was the end of an era for Tyrone. Target made the announcement they would no longer sell NBA, NFL, MLB, or Pokemon cards following an incident outside a Wisconsin store in which a customer pulled a gun on another who just purchased cards. Can you guys believe that? I'm going to shoot you free cards. Signs now posted all over the stores in the country read, "To ensure the safety of our guests and team members, effective May 14th, MLB, NFL, NBA, and Pokemon cards will no longer be sold in stores until further notice." Walmart has not made an official announcement at this time, though there's increasing speculation that they too will pull the cards from the shelves. He says, "That shit had me fricked up," shaking his head. "I don't know how it's been working up north, but ain't nobody in my area getting good stuff from Target anyways." Tyrone began turning his hobby into a business like anyone else trying to get cards. He arrived at stores early on Friday morning, learning that cards weren't stocked by Target and Walmart employees, but rather independent merchandisers who would enter the store on distributors' behalf and place the items on the shelves. By the way, that's what I used to do for Coca-Cola. I was a merchandiser. Tyrone would wait until the merchandisers arrived to put out the new cards, then he'd pounce them, buying out the stores and immediately flipping them on eBay. It was a weekly ritual. Hit a store, move to the next, do the same. "I'd spend hours in the cars each week," he laughed, remembering his beginnings. Tyrone quickly realized there was too much inconsistency. Sometimes he'd miss the merchandiser, or they'd go to another store first and throw off his route. Random shoppers would buy a fat pack as their nostalgia kicked in, having no idea what they were buying. This made his stock unreliable. It got exhausting, frustrating as shit got bigger. That's when I got smart about it. After months of shadowing deliveries and driving around, Tyrone approached one of the merchandisers in a Walmart parking lot and befriended them. He needed as much product as he could get his hands on. They needed to do their job. He says, "I made it work for both of us." Hint, what he means is he paid them. At the time, the only thing really popping was basketball cards, particularly the highly sought-after Panini Prism series. If you went to Target or Walmart hoping to find Prism basketball cards, only to find it out of stock, there's a good chance Tyrone had it, and you never had a chance of buying it. So this is interesting to me. So even before Pokemon cards were exploding, basketball cards were exploding. It says the only thing popping off was basketball cards, the highly sought-after Panini Prism series. So this was occurring naturally, guys. It wasn't like some big scheme or conspiracy. There just wasn't enough supply to meet demand. "It was so easy back then," he says. "They'd come in, put the stuff on the shelves, snap a photo with their phone to show that they did their job, then immediately pull it back down and buy it. To the distributors, Tyrone's merchandisers were doing their jobs. To the public, they just thought they were too late and missed out on the cards. No one was the wiser except for the merchandisers and Tyrone. I'd meet them at the end of their route, give them a stack, normally double what they're paid, and everyone was happy. As far as he sees it, Tyrone thinks the merchandisers got the better end of the deal. They just needed to meet him and make some quick money." Wow, guys. So apparently being a card merchandiser was good business. He had to do the legwork of moving the cards on the back end, but with his prices skyrocketing, it was worth it. It wasn't long before demand outstripped Tyrone's supply, even having most of an East Coast state in his pocket. Wow. He needed to expand and began hitting up friends and family members in other states, bringing them into the fold. Before long, he had numerous states stretching from the East Coast as far as Texas in his network. Everyone giving kickbacks to merchandisers, sending the product to him, and profiting as he became able to sell product online for 4 times their value. "I was making less because everyone needed a cut, but who cares? I was clearing $10,000 a month. This guy was making bank. Flipping fat packs and sealed product was nice, but the real money came in when Tyrone started getting his hands on hobby boxes. Larger 12-pack boxes, which brought him more money and more opportunity. He says, I can make stupid money on a case break. You don't even know. A box or case break is a multi-participant venture, so you guys know about this. We do these. Pokey Rev does these. Logan Paul does these. So he discovered box breaks, and I guess what he was doing was he was paying retail prices for these boxes that if you have to buy them online, you don't really get the retail price. You get the really expensive price. So he was getting them at retail price. And then I guess he was selling them in box breaks. He says, let's say someone had a case of Prism. You might pay $500 to get randomly assigned a team, then get every card from that team opened in a case. Okay, so he had a certain way of doing it. You know, I think I've heard of that for Pokemon, where it's like you get all the fire Pokemon. You know what I mean? It's kind of an interesting idea. But I feel like you don't need that. You just sell individual packs to individuals. So for the individuals participating, it was a potential gold mine. So this was part of what was steaming it or causing it. What's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word. For the individuals participating, it was a gold mine. So the people in the break actually liked being in the break. Lucking out and getting the Pelicans could mean landing a 5-figure Zion Williamson card. 5-figure, guys. That's a lot of money. At the expense of someone who got assigned the Hawks and coming away with nothing. Okay, so it's just like any pack break. It's like one person loses and the other person wins, and it's kind of like a form of gambling, basically. Trae Young isn't worth big money, so Atlanta is seen as a dud slot. For people like Tyrone, selling the slots represents no risk and all upside. Let's say I'm paying $3,000 a case. I'm turning around and making 5 times that in a break? Oh, guys, I'm pricing all wrong. I'm going to have to go back. I'm just kidding. We'll never do anything like 5 times. It must be because he's getting it at retail price. 5 times the price. This guy really was making a lot of money. With everyone desperate to open product, hoping of landing a chase card, Tyrone was just in it for economics. He says, I'll leave the gambling for the gamblers. Man, that's just so low. Sure, I'll open something now and then for fun, but nah, moving sealed is where it's at. Soon, not even his vast network was enough to keep him in the cards he needed. The fever spread from basketball into everything else. Football, baseball, and Pokemon. Hey, we know about Pokemon cards. Quote, Pokemon makes me too nervous, man, Tyrone says to a friend who suggests they start buying it up. We don't know shit about those. Well, I hope he continues to not know shit. He says, I mean, can we break it? I don't know. I know Luca and Ja, not Squirtle. I'll stick to what I know. As far as Tyrone saw it, he was providing a service. It had become impossible for anyone to get sealed product without spending thousands on boxes, and he felt that private card shops were cracking everything they were getting and selling singles online. So this is also interesting. He's saying that card shops, okay, so we're always mad. We're mad at the scalpers, right? But have you guys considered the actual private card shops can scalp too? So maybe that's part of it. They would tap the distributors, say, give us all, whatever, Vivid Voltage, and then they were just opening it themselves and selling the singles online. And this was profitable for them. How do we fix that? Do the distributors need to increase their prices? I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. So he says even then, he felt a little bad about what he was doing. It sucks, man. I remember collecting cards as a kid, Tyrone tells me. None of these kids have a chance. It's all being eaten up. As far as he was concerned, if Tyrone wasn't scalping cards, someone else would, so why not him? A large impact on the card market came not from flippers, but from Wall Street. During the economic downturn caused by COVID, an increasing number of investment bankers were looking to diversify their portfolio with collectibles, and basketball cards were at the top of the list. Grading services like PSA and Beckett, hey, I know those guys, once tapped only by enthusiasts trying to secure the most valuable cards, were now being flooded with requests to grade from big dollar firms. Oh my God, that's really frustrating to hear. Aiming to solidify their investments. You have no idea how dirty this all is, a lanky man named Tom calls from the back room. I know this goes all the way through the system. Wall Street is talking to Panini and they're engineering all this. I think ESPN is in Panini's pocket too. Man, you're tripping, Tyrone says, rolling his eyes, not buying Tom's conspiracy theories. Don't listen to him. I mean, shit is dirty. He's right about that, but nothing like that. Whether you believe the wild theories floated by collectors, is unquestionable that there's a massive card shortage and is pushing prices through the roof. If you want to find a rare Zion Williamson rookie card, now it'll take not a few $100 or even a few thousand, but a second mortgage on your home. Look at this, guys. What is this? $10,000? Holy Jesus, man. Zion Williamson from the 2019 Panini Contenders. Whew. Card collectors were tracking the price spikes daily, but when word got out to the general public that there were 5- and 6-figure cards being pulled from packs, it started a frenzy. Go to any store that stocked cards and you'd find empty shelves. People who were never interested in cards before were lingering around the section, looking to quickly make 4 times their purchase in a matter of hours. Be reselling online. So, you know what this tells me? Whoever you're buying your cards from, you got to trust. If you've got a Zion Williamson going for $10,000, this means you could find somebody who is simply searching the packs, eventually pulling this card. Once it's pulled, he sells the rest of the packs to suckers online. Okay, so there's no doubt that is happening. And you got to find someone you trust, somebody who they're in it for the long run, and somebody who is looking to build actual clients who know that you're not searching, or just methods of opening cards that, like box breaks, where you know there's no searching going on. This is really important, because this is $10,000. If you're a box breaker and you pull this, you can sell this and buy so much more money. So much more product. Yeah, that's scary. Word of Friday stocking got out. It wasn't long before there were lines down the sidewalk in the middle of a pandemic of people waiting for store doors to open so they could rush the card rack. My people started getting scared, Tyrone said, referring to his merchandisers. Not like they were afraid of getting hurt, they just didn't want the drama of pulling the shit off the shelves, someone reporting them, and losing their jobs. Soon the merchandisers started to pull out of their deals, no longer interested in the risks of the quick money. It became more and more difficult for Tyrone to secure large numbers of cards. All right, we've got to watch this. Are you ready? I watched this already. It's amazing. Here it goes. Can you see it? Oh my God. Look at these guys. Oh my Lord. Run! Look at this.
I'm not getting in that. No fucking way, dude. I am not doing that.
This makes my stomach turn. I see sport cards in one guy's card. Anyone grabbing Pokemon? They got the backwards caps too. They got the baseball cap on backwards because they're so cool. Oh my God! Look at that little run. It's like a little hop run. All right, no more of that. Whew, man, that is hard to watch. The news came cards were being pulled from shelves. Nobody was ready for that. Shit, I don't think Panini or Bowman were ready, Tyrone said. Overnight, the network he'd cultivated for years collapsed. But this wasn't a man who looked like his world was crumbling. Rather, he seemed calm. I knew it was coming, just not this way. I have plans, believe me, I have plans, just not ready to talk about that yet. You hear that, guys? He's got more sneaky tricks up his sleeve. While Tyrone pivots to whatever he's doing next, on Friday, May 21st, 1 week after pulling cards from the shelves, Target opened them up again for online-only sales, this time with strict limits to how many packs and boxes people could buy, effectively killing the scalping market. A great day for general consumers, and perhaps the nail in the coffin for those who made a living off cards in the last few years. Wow. What an article, everyone. I want to hear your opinions about it. It's so interesting to read. You know, in the end, when I was reading it, it became obvious that the real problem is that there was a shortage of cards. So suppliers just need to print more cards to meet the demand of a larger buyer base. At the same time, the price of grading has to go up, because I think that is primarily fueled by the people who are buying high-price PSA cards. And when there's enough PSA graded cards and Beckett and CGC graded cards to go around, I think a lot of prices will level off, and the demand will all slow down. And once the demand slows down, all the scalpers will leave anyways. They'll go scalp something else. And when the scalpers leave, then the price really will fall. And we'll get normalized prices, you know. And I think there is a price. It's not that nothing will ever come down to worthless. But the price of the cards really should reflect your odds of pulling the card out of that box and the distributor price of those cards, or the retail price, you know what I mean? So you shouldn't be paying, $600 for like a Pikachu that just came out. You should be paying whatever it costs for you to randomly pull them out of a box and get them graded. It might be less than the $600. Maybe it should be like $400. But yeah, so the prices are really high because there's more demand than supply, and the scalping's so bad. But anyways, I want to hear your thoughts about this article. And did you guys like today's video? Let me know if you want to see more videos like this.